but these are all big live oaks. So we're hoping maybe we'll see a chanterelle.
Hello everyone, and welcome to my section on finding chanterelles. My goal with this video is to hopefully give you a better idea of where to look within a habitat in order to find chanterelles. This video can help newer hunters figure out where to look to begin with, and more experienced hunters can use this information to increase the number of chanterelles that they find. Please note, I will be saying all of this information with the assumption that you already know which trees they will be associating with in your area, as every species of chanterelle will have a preferred host. In this video, we will mostly be exploring shapes of hillsides and predicting the flow of water within these habitats in order to locate where chanterelles might be. In this first section, I want you to note the shape of this hillside. Most importantly, think about how water would be flowing down it and the direction changes it would take along its path. Also, note the moss growing along the ledge, as it is an indicator that this area retains water. Now, one major pattern that I have noticed over the past 23 years is that the change of flow of water in a given area is an important habitat preference for chanterelles, be it the top part of the ledge that retains water like a reservoir, or the lower half where excess spills down and digs under the mud, or even the opposite side of the trail where it starts all over again. All of these features make trailside hunting a worthwhile effort. Unfortunately, most trailside locations are within parks where collecting is not allowed. A fruitful alternative would be to follow game trails along steep hillsides where the same conditions exist, although this can prove to be quite dangerous.
How you doing?
I'm surviving here. I don't know. I'm probably gonna kill myself.
Almost not surviving.
Following these same patterns can also lead you to find roadside patches. Roadside patches can be very large and often go unseen.
Big chanterelles right on the edge of the road, coming out of the cliff, everywhere.
So, next time you're out hunting around, try to imagine how water flows on the hillside. Make sure to note areas where the direction of the flow changes and areas where water is retained. And know that even in drier months when the duff is cracker dry, that following the flow of groundwater might lead you to chanterelles.
No way, dude. Late April here in California. Not always expect to find, but lucky when we do. Big old chanterelle. Oh my goodness.
In this next section, I will discuss how to read a hillside from a distance. Remember that equation back in high school? Time is equal to distance over chanterelles. Well, maybe I went to a different high school. But choosing your desired habitat and hunting locations from a distance can greatly reduce your time hiking as well as maximize your efforts of finding chanterelles. The first thing I do when I look at a hillside is note the flow of water coming down it. Second, I scope out the different trees growing in each area. In my specific case, chanterelles will be growing with coastal live oaks and not with redwoods or conifers. I will then apply the change of water flow shapes to the hillside in the desired area and pick a spot that looks good to enter from. Please note that this area also applies to our change of water flow shape, and therefore would be our preferred point of entry. I would then enter the habitat and head downhill, following the desired host trees along the tops of the ridges, venturing down the sides of each ridge in search of areas that retain water, have a change of water flow, or match habitats that I have found chanterelles in before. Using all of these techniques will greatly enhance your ability to locate chanterelles. If you're lucky enough, you may even find one as big as a cat. In our final section, I'll be discussing how to predict the flow of moisture from the ocean or from weather patterns, and how the first few sets of coastal mountains react to this moisture and retain it. This information is good to know at all times, but is particularly useful in the beginning or end of a season, when the ground is pretty dry and humidity levels are at their lowest. First, it is important to note the two sides of a mountain in relation to a large body of water such as the ocean. Second, it is important to note the direction that weather patterns will be coming from in your area, as the direction of the wind will tell you where to look. You can figure out all of this information by examining your area in Google Earth and paying close attention to NOAA moisture maps to figure out which direction you will be receiving moisture from. In this drawing, I will be giving an example of wind flowing from right to left over the ocean and into the coastal mountains. This side facing the ocean is referred to as the windward side. This side will be facing the wind and receive the majority of moisture coming from the water. The opposite side is referred to as the leeward side, and this side will be significantly drier as it will not be receiving this moist air. Now, most of you might think that the place to be is always going to be on the windward side, which, don't get me wrong, when the season is in full swing, it sure has its perks. But 2 weeks before other mushrooms are being found, you can always find me at the top of the leeward side, in an area I have been dubbing the Goldilocks zone. Now, the best theory I have for this is that the moisture coming up the windward side does a nice little swirl over the top of the leeward side, much like an eddy in a river moving behind a rock. This area seems to have higher humidity, and I tend to find chanterelles here when everywhere else has finished up or has yet to produce. Another strange thing about this location is that it tends to produce mushrooms that are uncommon or rare, or mushrooms that are not known to grow in an area.
Still hunting around on this hillside. Got a nice pile going over here. I'm digging for white chanterelles. And I just found another one. The beautiful patterns on that thing. Chanterelles subalbidus. This is beautiful and it's a very tasty mushroom. This hillside, you can't even tell. The bumps are so small. These mushrooms in particular grow very deep in the ground. What we want to do is go ahead and push the soil and stuff back how it was. Check out some more bumps. Oh, and that is a... What is that? What the f is this?
To the best of my knowledge, what I am holding here is a species of Boletopsis, which is not known to grow in our area or may be its own unique species. I have yet to collect one and submit it for study, but at the very least, I know where to find them.
So this is Chanterelles subalbidus, the white chanterelle. I don't usually find these in good condition like this. We're gonna go ahead and get down here and pop this thing up. Oh, it's two. Beautiful white chanterelles. Beautiful. Gorgeous, look at this.
Well, that wraps up my video on finding chanterelles. Thanks for watching. I hope this information is useful to you and would love to hear if it helps you in any way. Until next time.